Okay, so at this station, we're going to go through your answers to your homework yesterday, and then we have a couple of examples that we have to do still. So remember, you're doing PEMDAS, order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So on number 1, you would do 6 plus 3, which is 9, and then 54 divided by 9 would give us 6. On number 2, you would do 10 plus 50, which is 60, and then divide by 5, and you would get 12. On number 3, you would do 4 minus 1, which is 3. Then you have times 2 plus 18. So I would do multiplication first. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 18, and I get 24. Then you had to graph. So remember, it's your x, then y. So I go left or right, and then I go up or down. So 1, 1, I'd go right 1, up 1, and I'd label it A. For 5, I'd go right 2, up 8, and label it B. For C, I'd go right 8, up 1. For D, I would go right 3, up 4. For E, I'd go right 1, up 5. And for G, I'd go right 7, up 6. So those should be your coordinate points. All right, moving on to the next page. We're actually going to skip that page entirely, and we're going to look at examples 1 and 2 on page 192. So up at the top, it's just talking about negative integers and positive integers. Remember, when you are graphing on a number line, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're used to that. But when you graph negatives, -1 is the same distance from +1 from 0. So it would go -1, then -2, -3, -4, -5. Also remember, on a number line, numbers that are furthest to the right are bigger than numbers that are furthest to the left. Therefore, -5 is less than -1. It's kind of the opposite than what you would normally think. Okay, for example 1, it says write an integer for each situation. So for example 1, an average temperature of 5 degrees below normal. Okay, so since it says below, we know it's going to be minus, and then the integer number is 5, therefore it would be -5. Number 2, an average rainfall of 5 inches above. Above means up or positive, so then it would be +5 because it's above normal. I want you to pause the video and try got it A and B. Push play when you're ready. So 6 degrees above normal, it says above, so it would be +6. B, 2 inches below, so it would be -2. Looking at example 3, you are to graph the set of integers. So you'd have to write your numbers. Make sure when you are making a number line, these increments between them are equally spaced. Now, when you make a number line, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to be relatively equal. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see 0, 1, 2, and then over here you have -1, -2. Those are not equally spaced, okay? And it doesn't accurately represent a number line. Therefore, you need to try your best to make sure that they are as equal as possible. Okay? So then you have to graph them. Remember, when you graph on a number line, the dot goes on the number line, not above, not below, but on it. So I would graph 4, put a dot, -6, put a dot, and 0. Okay, I know it doesn't ask you to order them from least to greatest, but if I was to order this least to greatest,
please report to the office.
It would be -6, then 0, then 4, because I would start left and go right for order from least to greatest. All right, you're going to pause the video again, and I want you to try got it, C, and D. Again, you're going to have to make your own number line for these, make it relatively equally spaced. Okay, so on my number line, I am not going to put every single number. I'm going to count by twos. That's okay if you did. It's okay if you didn't. But I just don't want to have to write in all those numbers. Okay, so then I graph -2, 8, and -7. So if I was putting them in order from least to greatest, it was -7, -2, and then 8. Okay, I'm not going to draw a new number line, but you were supposed to. Okay, I am going to need to extend my number line though, because I go all the way up to +7, or sorry, +10. Okay, so then I would have to add 10 to my number line. If I graph -4, 10, -3 would come in between -2 and -4, so it'd go there. And then 7 would become in between 6 and 8. So that would be it. If I ordered them from least to greatest, I would have -4, -2, 7, and 10. Actually, sorry, this isn't -2, it is -3. Okay. Once you are done with this, you can stand up and hopefully we'll be ready to move on to our next station. If not, you can read a book.